Hello, I'm John O'Brien. I'm an associate professor here at the College of Information and Cyberspace. I teach in the Department of CIO/CFO, where I predominantly teach courses in strategic planning, performance management, and performance budgeting. Well, my past is a long and varied and certainly an interesting one. I started my professional career as a musician. I played guitar professionally in the Chicago area, went on the road for several years, traveled, and in 1979 I enlisted in the Air Force, playing in the Air Force Band career field. Spent 6 years essentially riding around the back of a bus, and after that period of time I applied for and was accepted into officer training school. I was commissioned in 1985. I went into what was then called the administrative career field. It transitioned into information management, information resource management, things like that. Throughout my whole 24-plus year career as an officer, I've always primarily been in that functional area of information management. I've held jobs like Chief of Base Administration, I was a postal officer, I was a protocol officer, various executive support jobs, things like that, all administratively focused. Probably the highlight of my career was working for, being selected to work for the Secretary of Defense. I worked for Bill Clinton's, President Clinton's second Secretary of Defense, William J. Perry. My area of expertise would be certainly the courses that I teach in, predominantly planning and performance metrics. I also have an interesting background in terms of ethics, normative ethics, constitutional ethics, things like that. I am the course manager for a class called Strategic Performance and Budget Management, SPB. Basically, I'm in charge of the care and feeding of everything that goes into that class. SPB is an interesting class, sort of a hybrid class containing elements of strategic planning, performance management, and budgeting, drawing a linkage between all three of those. It's a tough course. It's a required course for several of the tracks here at the college, but it's at the end, the concepts and principles of that course allow students to move into positions of senior leadership and ensure that their government agency is a high-performing organization. Probably the biggest challenge I'm facing, or what I'm seeing my students, is doing just what I just said. There is a demand for high-performing government. Citizens demand that. Customers demand. They demand exceptional service. They demand outstanding service, outstanding products from their federal government. However, senior leaders are faced with several issues that are dealing with that, such as personnel problems, personnel drawdown, the loss of good people, also reduced budgets and shrinking financial support, all of which can contribute to the challenge of ensuring high performance. If I had a working time machine, I would love to go back to the early days of this country, to our founding fathers, if you will. I'd love to sit and chat with James Madison as he conceived the principles that went into our Constitution. I'd like to talk to Alexander Hamilton to understand where he came from with the financial basis of our country. Thomas Jefferson, people like that. The advice I would give to my students is advice I would give to myself. I guess you could call it my personal mission statement. I understand the demands that everyone has, the broad cross-section demands that everyone must face in their lives. We are all workers, we all have jobs, Most of us have families. We all usually have some type of family demands, perhaps as parents, spouses. Perhaps we're dealing with our own parents. And then we have demands and desires to increase our educational knowledge. All of that can come together and create an enormous burden on your time. The advice I would give to students is try and maintain that balance. Try and maintain a good, healthy relationship between all of those aspects. In a sense, you're a juggler, and you're juggling many, many balls. Can't keep them all in the air at the same time. You might drop one or two of them occasionally, but try and understand that you have to keep a good, healthy attitude and a well-rounded balance among all aspects of your life, and you will ensure ultimate success.